Moon Palace, Chapter 8. Moon Palace never had a major damage, not while they were in business for the past 10 years. No one could remember if they ever encountered such a catastrophe since they started working there. Pang, being a superstitious person, wondered if it was an omen, where something bad was about to happen. Perhaps some major changes that would alter everyone and everything here at the restaurant. She felt the recent disaster was a sign, and with Ren, who had never taken a vacation as long as she had been here, taking one was another sign. Furthermore, after the roof incident, Pang observed whenever Wei Long was in proximity with Mei Ling, he would glance at her. Pang shook her head and muttered to herself, maybe he should have burned some incense before leaving. Several days passed since the leaking incident. Everyone almost forgot about it until the landlord sent a roofer to fix the damages. Since this morning, Pang and Shuming has been hearing the roofer pounding heavily above the ceiling. Pang was glad to know the roof was being fixed, while Shuming was upset for having to deal with the noises. And whenever Shuming heard electrical saw running over her head, she thought of her miserable trips to the dentist, and her hair would stand on the back of her neck, and goosebumps would surface on her skin. She got a headache and took 2 aspirin. She began talking to Pang while they were folding napkins. So, what do you think of Wei Long? Asked Shuming, trying hard to ignore the noises. Pang shrugged. I don't know. He seems to be working hard and helpful, especially with what he did the other night. Do you really think that Lao Tang told him to do it? I don't know. Lao Tang was very quiet throughout the time. All I know is I saw him just sitting in the kitchen, reading, while we were busy saving the place. Remember? It wasn't until Wei Long came in soaking wet that Lao Tang was right behind him and said, everything's all right now. I sent Wei Long up on the roof to cover the leak. Pang continued folding the napkins, oblivious to Shuming's comment. Shuming twisted the right side of her lips. She was a bit annoyed by Pang's indifference and went back to her original question. So? There was a few seconds of delay before Pang responded. So what? What do you think of Wei Long? I just told you, Pang scoffed. No, I mean, don't you think he's handsome? Pang shrugged. He certainly needs a haircut. It is too long. I like his hair, Shuming smiled. It's got that 70s look. It's in fashion. How can it be in fashion if it looks like something from the past? You don't pay attention to the latest fashion in the magazine, do you? Do I look like I have time to do that? The high pitch from the saw was getting on Shuming's nerve. She frowned and looked up. When is he going to be done? It is annoying. It's driving me nuts. Would you rather put up with the noises than have the place closed? Neither, Shuming replied in contempt, and folded the napkins for a moment, then blurted, So, should I? Pang took a deep breath and sighed. Should you what? Ask him. Ask him what? Oh, are you playing dumb with me? Pang put the napkin down. Seriously, Shuming, I have no idea what you're talking about. Shuming put the napkin down too. Should I ask him to come to my birthday party? I don't know, it's your party, Pang resumed. I mean, is it too soon to ask somebody you just met? Pang shook her head. Between the bang above and the pecking from Shuming, Pank looked rattled too. Really, Shuming, do what you want. You are a big girl. Make your own decision. Shuming sensed her frustration and mumbled, I was just asking a question. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the phone rang, and Mei Ling answered. Moon Palace, may I take your orders, please? Silence on the other line. Mei Ling continued. Hello, Moon Palace here. May I help you? No reply, except a breathing sound. Mei Ling was getting annoyed, and it showed in her voice. Hello, can I help you? The line went dead. Mei Ling wondered who it could be. Maybe somebody who cannot make up his mind on what to order. It did not really bother her, not even the noises from the roof. But she was bothered. Ever since that night, her mind was distracted by how he looked at her and how he held her close to him. She thought of Yuan, and a sense of guilt surfaced. For a brief moment, she wished her husband could have looked at her that way. He did. By mid-afternoon, the restaurant was empty. Mei Ling stood by the window, looking out and watching sunlight shining down on the asphalt pavement and the oak trees with their autumn leaves. She thought of Louisa and picked up the phone. Wow, this is a nice surprise to see you in such a good mood, Louise said, sitting across from Mei Ling at a corner in a coffee shop while sipping a tall glass of iced cappuccino. It's sunny, what can I say? Mei Ling shrugged. Louisa glared at her. Come on, you can do better than that. Mei Ling's eyes widened as she looked back at her friend, thinking how well Louisa knew her sometimes. What do you mean? Louisa shrugged, mimicking her friend. Mei Ling drew a veil. Okay, maybe it was because I was distraught by the incident the other day, which makes me appreciate the good weather now. Is that all? Louisa did not seem satisfied. Mei Ling, you hardly ever invite me for coffee in the middle of a work day. Something must be up. Mei Ling stared at her iced cafe mocha and rubbed the glass with her index finger and her thumb, capturing cool mist on the surface. She let out a deep sigh and narrated the event of that rainy night. Moon